My first question is about renewal and recovery.
So during the pandemic, we've had to modify our protocols for people visiting and getting tattooed. And our requirement is that everybody that comes through is COVID tested beforehand and quarantines until they arrive. We want to make the experience as safe as possible, all things considered. I only take one recipient a day, and that gives us time to clean and sanitize, as well as our regular sterilization protocols. So it's been a little bit of a challenge, but our people are resilient. Our people want to receive their ancestral marks still, and we're doing our best to accommodate them, albeit in a limited capacity. So based on a person's ethnic background from the Philippines, there's a palette of designs I can choose from. Obviously, from region to region, those designs can differ. There is some overlap, although the arrangements of those common designs really determine which ethnic group they actually belong to. And so based on their ancestry, I can choose a few different designs that might be applicable to them. But really the conversations that we have beforehand, that's where we really figure out which designs are most appropriate for them, for what role they play in our community, as well as their ancestry.
Going into it is a commitment, right? So how does that look when you're doing, I saw the videos, right, that you have, and your hand, and I don't know, a lot of people know this too, you're doing it by your hand, you're not doing it by a machine. So how did you learn that? I mean, for anyone who's not familiar, how did you come to this practice and learning this ancient way of doing tattoos?
It was never my intention to learn to tattoo.
I see.
When I was young, I was enamored with the tattooing of the past. It was something I really admired about Polynesian culture, who, specifically the Samoans, who retained their tattooing practices with an unbroken tradition throughout the centuries, even with colonization. Unfortunately, for most of the Pacific and the Philippines as well, that for the most part, wherever colonizers really took root, they exterminated the practice because it was associated with the old belief systems. There was no one to teach me how to hand tap. We have very few examples left in the Philippines of hand tap practitioners that come from an unbroken lineage, like the Kalinga people of northern Luzon. Apo Huang Od is still practicing. She has apprentices. There's other practitioners in Kalinga. I was mostly self-taught the first year that I was actually tattooing. I was on my own experience and what I observed from Huang Od, as well as my Polynesian mentors. One of my mentors really took me in, Suakione Nunez of Hawaii, and he helped me refine my tools and improve my tapping technique. During this time of pandemic and uncertainty, it's really important that as we try to uplift each other and rise together, that we remember that we don't walk this earth alone, that we walk with a multitude of family and ancestors that are there to support us, to encourage us, and inspire us in our times of need, especially during this time where things are so uncertain, where there's a lot of fear. Having that connection with those who gave us life brings us hope. It brings us to a place of resiliency, because a single person is just one person, but when you have a multitude of people, both our living community and our predeceased relatives, we're powerful, we're strong.